best. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
But ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day.
You know, I watch the Weather Channel every day. They're already saying what it's going to look like in every city in America. So what's going to be significant? So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Only darkness every day.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch it on TV. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a full Eclipse Reaction Championship Masters. Calipari went where Monday in the doghouse. I mean, goodness gracious almighty, we have got so much to react to today. Not to mention there's a women's championship, the Auburn spring game, and WrestleMania to boot. And we have a ton of room to get you in today as well. It's basically your show. It's all Reaction Monday today. All right? It's 100% Reaction Monday today. It's your show beginning to end today. I didn't book anybody. No, not a soul. All right? So be ready to rock and roll with that. On top of all of that, today is the 20th anniversary of Hank Aaron's 715th home run. One of the greatest sports moments in the history of sports moments. And I guess you would have to be, about my age to remember where you were when it happened. Okay? Because I was 12 years old when it happened. 13. Maybe 13. No, I was 13. I was 13 years old when it happened. All right? So that's what you would have to be to remember anything about it. All right? And we're going to give you a little bit of history lesson on that as well. But if you have any recollection of it, you old people listening to the radio show, I'd love to hear what you were doing at that particular point in time. So we have a national...
No strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and
Wait a minute. Did I do that? I didn't do that.
Ball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that in a moment, but yeah, that's part of it. I do have that. I wasn't ready for that, but I do have that out there for you. But we will definitely get that in for you here in a little bit. And that was the Vin Scully call on the Dodgers radio network. Okay, I have Milo Hamilton for you, which was on the Braves radio network. And, of course, I was watching it on Monday Night Baseball, and it was Kurt Gowdy was on the call of that one. But we'll get to that in a minute. We do have a national championship game tonight, and that could be one for the ages. I mean, really, it's the top two teams in the country. They have survived, and they will face off with the two big men leading the way. UConn is trying to win back-to-back, which hasn't happened since Billy Donovan, and the Gators were doing it in 2006 and 2007. And ironically, Donovan, who is now the coach of the Chicago Bulls, is back in the news as his name is being tossed around for the Kentucky job, which stunningly opened up overnight when John Calipari headed to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take over the Hogs program. Now, look, no disrespect to Arkansas basketball. It has great tradition. They've been to the NCAA tournament 35 times. They've won once in 1994 with Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell team. Kentucky has 8 natties by 5 different coaches, including Cal, who got his in 2012. That was 12 years ago. So this is not exactly Nick Saban leaving Alabama for, say, the Georgia Tech job. I mean, this is a guy who has won a ton of regular season games and who has underperformed in the tourney. And in the last 5 years, his overall winning percentage is 5th in the SEC, not in the country, mind you, in the SEC. Rick Barnes, 72.4%. Nate Oates, 72.1%. Bruce Pearl, 68.5%. Eric Musselman, 65.9%. And John Calipari, 63.5%. I mean, he has a lower winning percentage than the guy he's replacing. So keep that in mind. I mean, we get a little bit hung up on Calipari, the name, but let's just kind of keep that in mind. Anyway, so the attention this morning has been on the Cal story more so than the game tonight. And if you have been watching ESPN or any of its affiliated stations, the number 2 story this morning has been Caitlin Clark and her career coming to a close. The number 3 story has been the team that beat Caitlin Clark for the Women's National Championship, South Carolina, who finished 38-0. Dawn Staley's 3rd national title with her 2nd team, and already the recency bias is in play, with some calling her the greatest women's coach in the history of the game. Look, as good as she is not anywhere near the Pat Summitt, Gino Auriemma category. That's a different class altogether. I mean, this is just insane, the way they're talking about Dawn Staley. And I got more thoughts on her as well. We also need to discuss what we saw at the Auburn spring game. I am not one to overreact to spring games, but still there needs to be a discussion there. That is either one of the greatest defenses in college football, or that offense is in trouble again. We'll get into some of the detail on that. Now, lines are open, 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469, which is a great way to communicate with us. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We're on the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, where you can get a link to our YouTube channel, WZZN TV. You can subscribe to that bad boy so you can get the notifications. If you're watching right now on WZZN TV, well, you can't quite see everything in the array, but there's a theme. There is a bit of a theme to the show here. We have got this little baby, which is behind my name on there, but that is a replica Dale Earnhardt helmet, the man in black, okay? That's the Dale Earnhardt helmet that's up there. Then you see the Tennessee Valley Vipers black helmet when they came back in black. Remember when they came back in black, and then they were the Alabama Vipers, they're back in black. And then this is the Birmingham Iron helmet, which was also black. Okay, all black. Those are the only black helmets I got. All right, I am decked out today in my Eclipse uniform. I got my black T-shirt on, and I got a black, you can't even see the logo on it, but it's a black Yankee hat on with a black Yankee logo on it. So I'm all decked out in Eclipse black. This is me for the Eclipse. All right, this is the way I'm rolling on Eclipse Monday, if you will. All right, different views there, as you can see. Decked out totally in the black. But you'd have to be watching on WZZN, or you can watch it later at the Facebook page as well. Make sure that you get the app so you have that, and you have the links to Zone 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well, all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. And make sure you snag the Talk Radio WZZN app as well so you can listen to all the great stuff on 97.7-2, our HD signal, which is Talk Radio WZZN, the home of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Another busy week of sports programming here on the Valley's only sports station. So you need to have these apps to follow it all. Remember, tomorrow night is opening night at Toyota Field for the Trash Pandas against the hated Birmingham Barons. Speaking of black. So, as all of you know by now, there's going to be a nearly full eclipse of the sun during the show today. So, Grizz has put together a musical palette for us today that is all sun and moon type songs. So, we'll see what he put together for that. Not that we'll be able to see it, because it's pretty miserable out there. I mean, it's like all cloudy, miserable out there. It's been raining all morning, and, I mean, will it still get dark? I mean, I keep looking out the studio window right now here, the Big Dog Production Studio, which is different than the window at the Mothership Studio, and it looks the same as it's looked. Now, I think it reaches its full darkness in about an hour. So we'll see if it actually gets darker out than it is now with the clouds. I got a full eclipse of the sun right now with the cloud cover. All right, over there playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax and putting together that music for us and feeling awfully good about a Braves weekend, probably. It's the one and the only DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizz, when is this thing supposed to reach its full darkness? Do you know? Is it 1 o'clock?
I'm so tired of the sun. And just enough about the sun. There's so much sun. Everyone talks about the sun. Everyone's been talking about it. It's just the sun. We see it every day.
Yeah, well, apparently we're not going to see it there for some particular point in time when the moon passes in front of it.
We can't even see it here. Like you said, it's cloudy. It doesn't look.
Yeah, we're not going to see it. But I wonder. Do you think it'll still? So
I'm gonna watch it on TV.
Yeah, let's do that.
You gonna look at
just
it?
put it on TV. Let's
Make
just
sure
watch
you have
it
your
on
glasses
TV.
on if you're gonna look at it. By the way, everyone.
Well, that's why I said we can watch it on TV. Then we don't have to worry about having glasses on. Do you think it'll still? Do you think it'll still get dark?
I would think
Doesn't
so,
it get dark? There's no sun.
I don't know enough about the sun to dispute it, but I would think that it would still get dark. Yes.
I would think that it's going to get dark.
Yeah. It's such a weird topic. I mean, I get it. It's like a phenomenon type of thing, but I feel back in the day, it was a bigger thing, but now it's just kind of like everyone can go to where maybe it's a good spot to see it, and it's just kind of like a quick thing. Like can you imagine back in the day, you're like trying to travel, going through some jungle or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just turns pitch black for a second.
You think it was the end of the world.
You think,
okay, this is it.
Now it's just like, it got darker.
Must be the end of the world.
Go in the closet. It gets dark in the closet.
Well, yeah, but it is a phenomena yet. But it seems like, I don't know, it seems like every time there's an eclipse, they say that this is like the last one for the next 100 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and there was just an eclipse in 2017.
So I'm gonna watch it on TV.
That's when that happened. It was the 2017 eclipse. And then there's these lunar eclipses, which don't we get like a lunar eclipse every month? I think we get pretty much they call that a new moon, I think is what we get with that lunar eclipse. So I don't know. I'm confused. I'm not confused. I get it. And apparently, like, there's just like this edge around it. Like, it must be just like a perfect size of the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is so much smaller than the sun, but, it's a lot closer, obviously. So when it goes in front of the sun, it doesn't completely block out the sun because you get that, like, the aura around it. Yeah, you get that ring around it,
Neon. Yeah. Just give me somebody with a high-resolution camera that's doing it, like, every, per second, and then give me the video of it.
Oh, you'll get all the video you want later today. You're going to see it ad nauseum later on today. Now, remember when they used to say, they talk about the glasses. You got to have those glasses now to look at
3D
it.
glasses.
No, they're not 3D glasses.
they
They're
kinda
just
look
super dark. They're not like the movie glasses that you wear. They're in the
kinda look
paper
like 'em.
thing. Yeah, they're like that in the paper thing, but they're not in 3D. What they are is they're super dark. They're really, really
It's like the
dark.
ones
They're
when,
like
you,
welding.
when you get your eyes done, and then the doctor gives you those big glasses that you got to walk around with and look like.
It's like a welding helmet is what it's like. You know what I mean? If you got a welding helmet, you don't need the glasses. You use your welding helmet to look at the sun. So they got those things. But when I was young, remember they used to say you take a piece of paper and you poke a hole in the middle of it. Remember? And then you look through the hole. What happened to piece of paper with the hole? Nobody ever says get a piece of paper, make a hole in it.
It sounds scary a little bit, though. It might burn through the paper. I'd be a little worried.
Well, no, it doesn't burn. It's not heat.
I know,
it's not
I know. But that would be. I
not
never
like when you were a
understood
kid.
that. I never understood that.
Remember when you were a kid, you'd have the magnifying glass and you'd burn a bug on the sideline.
Burn the ants.
You'd burn the ant with the sidewalk with the magnifying glass. You know, I mean, it's just.
What was it?
So,
no.
So we got all of this. I got these black helmets out here, and now you can see it. Okay, now I'm looking at the YouTube video. So now on the two shot, you can see the Earnhardt helmet.
Here, you had it. Hold on one second. Let me flip.
You could see the Viper helmet. And then you could see the Birmingham Iron helmet, and you could see that I'm all decked out in black. So that works now. Now you really can see it good here on the two shot. If you're watching it on WZZN
They can see
TV.
it earlier. I've been flipping back and forth. When you had your main screen up, if you're watching right now, I mean, I took out this. You can take out the screen.
There you go. Now you can see it good. Yeah.
You just show it for a second and then go back.
Yeah, there you go. You show it for a second.
Just the technology.
All right. So, Grizz, it brings the question, being that being that it is Eclipse Day, and this only happens once every 500 years or 4 years, one or the other. But it does beg the question, who is the best black uniform in the NFL? All right, predominantly black uniform. You got the Raiders. Tell me if I'm missing anybody. Now, predominantly, not alternate. Like I'm not counting the Ravens, who look better in their black than they do in their purple.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's an alternate. I'm talking about primary blacks. The Raiders, the Steelers, the Jaguars, the Saints, who often go black on black, the Bengals, or the Falcons. Am I missing anybody else that has a primarily black uniform in the NFL? I think I got them all.
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
See, for the Falcons, they go black on black with their new uniform. Their old school black uniform is better than their new school uniform.
Correct.
But they don't go black on black with that.
No. They got the red
Neither
helmet.
do the Raiders. The Raiders never go black on black. But I wonder who has the best black look. Now, the Raiders have a silver helmet, whereas the Falcons have, you've got the jersey.
Yeah.
But, when you're talking about the Steelers and the Falcons and the Jags, those teams have black helmets as well. So that I think that gives them an edge.
I still think that the Steelers, it's iconic. The helmet, the emblem on one side. I mean, sometimes when they take the emblems off and it's just the black helmet, and they go with a jersey as well. Like the black on black just looks good for them.
But they always have the emblem on one side.
Well, yeah,
I don't think they've ever taken it off totally, but they've always had it on one. You know why they only have it on one side?
I think they took it off for those B jerseys.
Maybe for the B jerseys. Their best look to me is an alternate look when they wear that black jersey with the gold numbers with the yellow numbers, and then the black pants with the big yellow stripe down the side.
Yeah.
To me, that's their best look. I mean, I think that's their absolute best look. But you know why they only have it on the helmet, the Steelers logo on just one side? You ever wondered about that?
Yeah, I can't remember. I've heard it before.
Well, the team was so poor.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they started, they were so poor they could only afford the logo. And remember, the logos don't come on until in the 60s.
Yeah.
So even in the 60s, they were remember, they didn't make a playoff game for their first 40 years. They were the laughing stock of the NFL. The Steelers were the worst organization. I always talk about Art Rooney and, the great owner Art Rooney and all this other kind of stuff. They were the worst organization in the NFL for 40 years. They were the last team to make a playoff. I mean, they just never made that. They were terrible. And they were so poor. They were the laughing stock of the league. In the 60s, they could only afford the logo on one side. Well, then it became iconic. It became their thing,
It's pretty crazy because I remember all the times like in high school when Johnson just did not have matching uniforms, matching helmets, and we'd go out there and just get our butt kicked, and it was just like, come on now, it's like you make them look good, like make them look uniform because they would look good, and they're gonna kick our butt every week. But man,
well, they could still be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though they could still be good. All right. So there's a lot of different topics to get into. How about for the Atlanta Braves this weekend? The Atlanta Braves, Spencer Strider, his elbow is messed up on Friday night, right?
Yep.
And we don't know. He's either going to have Tommy John surgery and miss 2 years, or he'll be back in 15 days.
Which is
one or the other.
Which he had in like 2019, I believe, like when he was at Clemson. So
he might need it again.
Yeah, he's had it, but he's had it before, so it looks like he may end up having it again.
But he may not. But he's only on the 15-day DL. They didn't put him on the 60-day or anything. He's only on the 15-day DL.
Right.
So there's that. That happens, and they win the game anyway. On Saturday, you got Max Fried gets lit up like a Christmas tree, right?
Normal.
He give up 6 runs in the first inning, something like that.
Like normal.
And they win the game.
Yeah.
And they win the game anyway.
Run support,
and then
finally.
Right. And then on Sunday, Chris Sale is strong yesterday, and somehow the Braves end up sweeping the NL champ. They should have lost 2 out of 3 games. They end up sweeping the NL champs. So that's a great job by
no
him.
News
But
about
it is
that. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No news about that. Just all about the whole weekend. I get it.
Yeah,
because it's baseball.
Well, I'm
It's
sticking
early.
it in there. I mean, it's it's got to be. You got to throw it in there. You got to.
Yeah, that was a good weekend. But I mean, what cost? I mean, yeah, the Strider thing that's gonna be huge. But hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully maybe you can pull out the season and then maybe take it in their off season or something.
So it's the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's 715th home run. I assume that tonight they'll be wearing the Hank Aaron pajamas, even though he played more games in their traditional Braves gear that they're wearing now.
Yeah,
he wore that for more games than he wore the pajamas, but he hit 715 in the pajamas. So my guess is that tonight why they're not playing the Dodgers tonight is beyond me. Is baseball so brain dead that they don't have the Dodgers in Atlanta tonight?
These historic games, yeah.
How asinine is that that they're not playing the Dodgers tonight, and that they don't have Mrs. Aaron out there on the thing to throw out the first pitch, and they don't have somebody from the Dodgers back in the day? I mean, come on. I mean, this is stupid.
Yeah.
He's the home run king. 762. Well, forget about that.
We're going to get
I mean, I don't understand how this was one of the great moments ever in sports history. And like I say, you've got to be my age to actually remember it. I could tell you exactly where I was, and I will when we return, and we'll let you know what it sounded like with Milo. By the way, 3 Hall of Fame broadcasters on that game. 3 Hall of Fame broadcasters. Milo Hamilton, Braves radio. Vin Scully, Dodgers radio. Kurt Gowdy, TV. NBC TV, which had the game on Monday Night Baseball. Okay? There was some controversy around that because you know who wasn't there? Bowie Kuhn, the commissioner of baseball, was not there. And I'll tell you why he wasn't there. And I'll tell you what I was doing when that happened as well. We'll do that next right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown.
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone. A home run.
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Nice. Start with a little Sinatra.
In other words, hold my hand.
Chris knows what he's doing. Sinatra brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, the orthopedic specialist that pretty much every high school in the region uses. It's TOC Sports. Alabama A&M and the Huntsville Havoc rely on TOC as well, but whether it's a sports injury or work injury or you're just breaking down a little bit, TOC is the right for you. North Alabama's largest sports medicine provider is TOC. Stay in the game with TOC Sports. All right, we'll get to the Hank Aaron story in a minute, but let me knock out LSU Lynch, who has waited patiently through the break. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, how are y'all?
Fantastic.
Look here, I remember back in, the eclipse that they talk about, like what you say, look here, they used to make a car, and that's how many I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look here, I remember back, I think I was 12, 13 years old. You had actual camera film. Remember those days?
Yeah, film.
Yeah, and you would cut that off, and that's how we would look at it.
Wait, from the canister or the film thing itself?
Just take your film negative. Remember the film negative?
Yeah.
Strips of the film. Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
I know you're old now, son.
I am old.
They may have to split or something.
Yeah.
But look here, I done sent you the Eclipse picture. Okay. I sent you the picture of the Wolverine Dan and myself from military night. Did you not receive that?
How long ago did you send it?
That would be Friday.
Oh! I have to go back a little ways. I got 200 emails.
Well, I know Gria's got it, but look here.
Okay.
When you see the popcorn, that's the Eclipse right there. Okay.
All right. I feel you.
You're gonna laugh out loud. But look here,
it
was a great night. It was great seeing him. And
I got it. All right, there it is, right there. That's so Wolverine Dan and LSU Lynch. Now, how did you guys meet each other? Had you guys met each other at the Christmas party or something? How did you know each other?
Well, that's Wolverine Dan.
No, I know that, but do you guys know each other from when did you first meet him? Okay, Christmas
Remember
Friday.
the Christmas party? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked. Like I said, we've talked for years. I've listened to him for.
Oh, okay. So did you run into him randomly, or did you just did you guys meet?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be there and everything. And apparently, he's a big time season ticket holder because he got to go in. But yeah,
Since day
so I
one.
caught up with him. Huh?
Yeah, he's been a season ticket holder since day one. I mean, he's yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, we used to be in the Blue Line Club, and I used to be. I buy a bunch of games and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
We actually got stand up tickets only for Wednesday night. It's at the Iceplex, the first playoff game.
Can anybody explain to me? I know that Disney on Ice is in. This hockey team owns that building and sells it out every single night, basically. And now they get all the way to the end of the season, and now they're going to play a playoff game, and they got to go to the Iceplex because the Disney on Ice is there. Can they not schedule the Disney on Ice like a couple of weeks later? These playoffs don't last very long. I mean, I know that I'm ignorant about it, but I mean, can someone please explain to me why the hell every year Disney on Ice happens right during the playoffs?
It's that. Look here, and it's the monster truck. I mean, we fight through this. I mean, it's the monster truck rally too. You know, that sucks. They suck just like the refs do. But anyway, what I want to get at, military night. Look here, it's over $500,000 coming in every home game. I mean, you're talking. That was the 17th straight game sold out.
I think it was more than that. I think it was more than that. I think it was 18. Was it 17 or 18? No, 17?
Straight. I think the number, you're correct. It's a couple of more overall, but we're talking straight. Okay? But, yeah, I'm like you. But look here, we got to go down. My son's birthday, so his name got to go up and down all night. But the second period, we have a connection with Steel Serving Veterans. Okay? So we got to go down to set. We're 2-0. And I told my boys, look here, we're going to score to 8 points at least. We got to go down right next to the Havoc in the Steel Serving Veterans booth.
Yeah.
And look here, so the kids, son, they banging on the glass. We scored 5 goals that period alone, Tom. Wow. It was freaking amazing. We won 10-1. I mean, it was freaking amazing. Look here, we get to 9. Look here, we go back there. We get to 9 and everything. And as soon as we get to 9, we all start chanting out, "We want 10. We want 10." Son, it wasn't a minute something later, we got 10. I mean, you can't, that is priceless.
You should get something for 10. You should get like a free taco or something. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to get something for 10. I mean, you know.
But you don't see that. That's very rare because I've been going for over 20-something years. You know, that's very rare to see something like that happen, that type of score.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, Macon was a grease fire this year, too. I mean, you know, let's just be honest, too.
But the goalie is huge, and he sucks.
Yeah, but he can't move.
Their goalie's huge, and he sucks. But anyway, yeah. So I'm waiting to go pick up my tickets. I bought them. We got them yesterday, and I still got to buy a damn parking pass. See, they make all kind of money, dude.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what it is because the gate's about $125,000 for a full house. The gate, I mean, that's what the ticket is. But now you add in the concessions and the parking and all of that. I just don't understand why. And I'm gonna text the owner here in a minute during the break. I don't understand why every year they get bumped out of the building during the playoffs. You know they're going to be in the playoffs every year. They're going to be in the playoffs every year. Are we like, oh, we can't wait. We got to get Disney on Ice in here. I mean, we got to have Disney on Ice in here right now. We want to have Disney on Ice in here. I mean, we can't wait a week for Disney on Ice in the truck thing. I mean, come on. Ticks me off.
But look here, it's a long-term schedule that they've done as well. So I don't know if it's like they have to stick to their contract.
I don't know.
Does that make sense? I don't know. But anyway,
I don't know.
Look here, we're gonna see what happens with this eclipse and everything.
Yeah.
Who you got tonight, brother? Who you got?
I've got the under. I got under 145 points. I think that UConn will cover the 6.5. So I'm going to take UConn to cover the 6.5, but I think it's an under. I think this is going to be a battle. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring up and down the court deal. By the way, those of you watching on WZZN TV just saw the picture on the WZZN TV feed. Just saw the picture of LSU Lynch and Wolverine Dan otherwise known as Natty Danny, at the game on Friday night. There it goes up again. You can see it there with LSU Lynch wearing a Stars and Stripes shirt and some cool jacket that I can't read, and he has a towel or something over his shoulder. Yeah.
Lucky, hey, look here. It was funny. His wife took our picture and everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, remind me, it's like, I'm LSU Lynch. I'm the one that refuses to call him that name. I'm out.
Yeah. It's the quickest finger in the West. Man, he can get out quick.
I was looking this way too, and
You'll never catch
him.
Both.
Yeah.
You'll never catch him.
It's like a while ago.
His brother from another mother, who apparently did not call on top of LSU Lynch, but decided to text right on top of LSU Lynch, said, I know why you're limiting these black uniforms to the NFL because you hated Tennessee Vols have the best black uniforms in all of sports, and you don't want to admit it. We need Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden in the rotation today. And he said when Disney found out there was 17 straight hockey games, Disney had to do something about that. So they get the Disney on Ice in there. Get the Disney on Ice. Got to have Disney on Ice. On this soft ice they'd skate on. They'd skate this soft ice. No, I didn't. The NFL. What I did was teams that are predominantly black, and there's too many in college football to put all the ones that are in it. Now you've got, yes, the Tennessee All Blacks. Not when they wore the black top and the orange pants in the Lane Kiffin year. That was horrific. The Tennessee All Black with the black helmet, the black jersey, and the black pants. It was a very, very sharp uniform. There's no doubt about it. But it's not their uniform. It's not their colors. It's not their primary uniform.
Oklahoma State's all black. Ohio State's all black. Oklahoma State's all black was pretty cool. I like theirs. And then Ohio
that's
State,
a primary. That's a primary one for them. Right. Ohio State's another one. That's a second. Ohio State is that's a secondary.
Alternate,
Oregon has one. I mean, now I really like when Georgia wears their black jerseys.
Yes.
I think Georgia looks better in their black jerseys than they do in their red jerseys. Although their record in those black jerseys is not very good. But you'd have to look at, teams. Every team in college football that isn't a historical team, you know what I mean? A team like, Alabama, Penn State, people that Notre Dame, although Notre Dame jerks with their uniforms too. Everybody has a black uniform, it seems like. They all have a black uniform.
Colorado looks good in all black.
Yeah, they're okay in all black. But it was easier to do NFL. Right. I mean, you could do baseball as well. You know what's a really cool black? No, you know what's a really cool black alternate in baseball is, and to me it's the best alternate in all of baseball, is the Chicago White Sox South Side.
Oh yeah,
black
I like that
with
one.
the silver pinstripes.
Yes.
That's the best alternate jersey. That's the best. What do they call them? City Connect.
City Connect jersey, and it looks way better than what the Phillies came out with. And it makes
the Phillies thing is stupid.
It made sense for the White Sox.
Yeah.
It looks so good, and the Wrigleyville for Chicago Cubs. These
not
look
bad.
Great. Even though that's not black, but that was great.
Not bad. I think black or otherwise.
Oh yeah.
That's their color. I mean, the White Sox have black in their uniform anyway. They have silver and black uniforms, but the black with the silver pinstripes because it evokes South Side. It's their color palette, and let's be honest. When you think of Chicago, especially on the South Side, you think of the boys. You know what I mean? You think of organized crime, and that's a organized crime look with the black with the silver pinstripes. By the way, speaking of organized crime, and this is really not connected to that, but it is a little bit. If it's not scripted, and we know that, the wrestling and WrestleMania it's a show. It's a TV show. It's scripted. If it's not scripted, okay, there is no way that 215-pound Cody Rhodes can beat that half Samoan, half Sicilian beast that is Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns played college football at Georgia Tech. Roman Reigns played in the CFL, had a cup of coffee with the Minnesota Vikings and somebody else. Roman Reigns is half Sicilian and half Samoan, okay? His daddy is a Samoan, and his mama is purebred Sicilian like mine. He's like 280 pounds, okay? There is no way that Cody Rhodes lasts a half an hour in the ring with him. People are calling it, Grizz, the greatest championship fight in WrestleMania history. Okay, I don't know if I buy that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they're saying it was the greatest thing. There was so much cliche. I watched the highlights of the Saturday night thing. You know, the tag team deal with The Rock. It was so cliche. I mean, throw a guy through the table, and it's the same gags over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I hate their concept in the WWE where it's like, I get it, they're trying to do the nostalgia thing and bring back all the old wrestlers, but like constantly bringing back the old wrestlers to create something, but also just like they win every time for some reason.
They have to. They wouldn't come back otherwise.
Nobody would want.
You wouldn't come back. You're like, I'm not going to come back and get beat. You know, if you're Rock or somebody like that, you don't come back unless
like
you're going to win.
Brock Lesnar, it's like, oh, we know Brock's going to win every single year. It's like he's done with the UFC for this week.
The coolest moment was The Undertaker.
Yes.
The lights went dark, and plus I didn't realize it was outside at the stadium. It was at the Link in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, I'm like, what happens if they had bad weather? It's April in Philadelphia, and they did this outside and got away with it 2 nights. But it was like The Undertaker showed up. And that was cool. I guess that was kind of a neat storyline. But you know what was rigged like WrestleMania, Grizz? The Auburn spring game. That was rigged too. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind that was Hugh Freeze was channeling WrestleMania because Auburn's offense was horrific in that thing. They put 27 on the board for the defense and said to the offense, now you catch them. You know what I mean? And I watched the first 3 quarters, and I'm like, this is they're throwing the ball behind people, over people's heads, around. You know, Cam Sutton is going to be a great wide receiver. He made one or two big plays, and you know, so you got a little bit of a glimpse as to what they've got with that kid. Right. I mean, that's a man child. That's Julio Jones. I mean, that guy is a stud. All right, but the quarterback play was men's at best. The offensive line was abused throughout. The defensive line and the linebackers were incredible. They were the run-throughs by the linebackers and against the run was insane. Now, they had this kid. They didn't have the regular kicker that's going to be their kicker during the regular season, but they had a walk-on kid, Magoo, from Auburn High School. Kid hit 7 field goals in the game. He was 7 for 7.
That spot.
On field goals, and he kicked the game winner 58 yards. Now, no rush, right? No rush. But he kicked the game winner with 3 seconds. Come on. 3 seconds left on the clock. The walk-on kicker from right there in Auburn High School goes onto the field, kicks a 58-yard field goal to win the game 28-27. Oh, get the hell out of here. What are you, Vince McMahon doing a game? I mean, get out of here.
Get that crowd pumped. Get it ready for the 2024 season in the
It's
jungle.
your defense. That's the other thing about spring games. It's like people are like oohing and eyeing whenever the offense makes a play. It's your defense. It's like, ooh, yay. They cheer for the offense. They don't cheer for the run-through by the linebacker. They don't cheer for that. They cheer for the offense.
And that's the thing. It's like
so weird.
It's like I hope that Cam Coleman's going to get a lot of those opportunities for passes, because when I was looking at the stats, I was like 400 and something yards total, and I'm like 366 passing and hardly anything on the ground, and it just seemed like you would expect maybe a little bit more for that offense.
Did I call him Cam Sutton? Cam Coleman?
I think so. I think so. It's okay. He might be a Cam Sutton in the NFL.
Cam Coleman. Who's Cam Sutton? I don't even know who Cam Sutton is.
Cam
Coleman,
Denver wide receiver, or where if he's at now, I don't know.
Towns Magoo and Cam Coleman were the stars of that game. I mean, it's just wait a minute. What is this? Auburn's
Cameron Sutton's a
offense.
quarterback. My bad.
Auburn's offense. Wait a minute. The Auburn Wire, 7 takeaways from the. What are you talking about? It says here, Auburn's offense shines. They were awful. It says the headline on Auburn Wire, the USA site it said that the slug line was Auburn's offense shines. How did the offense shine? Did anybody watch that thing that's writing these stories? They didn't shine. They were awful. Oh, 7 field goals and 1 touchdown. 21 points on field goal. The Tiger defense allowed its opposition to score just 28 points and gained 411 yards. The Tiger defense allowed its opposition to score just 28 points and gain 411 total yards in Saturday's win. Well, first of all, 411 yards would be a lot if they didn't have 100 snaps. Yeah. That's all they did was, it was offense against
Probably
defense the whole
one.
day. I don't think that the Auburn offense shined. Not the first offense, not the second offense, not the third offense.
I give them a lot of credit. They came back and won, scrapped and clawed back.
They kicked 7 field goals. They couldn't score a touchdown. One touchdown in the game.
Got field goal range.
Gracious. All right, we come back. Hank Aaron bit. It's Thom Abraham Show. 97.7 ESPN Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Unlike other credit cards that decline sports betting transactions or treat them as a cash advance, the GBank Visa Signature Card can load directly to your favorite sportsbook apps. G.bank/VSiN.
NCAA hoops tonight, the men's final. Glendale, Arizona. Purdue battles defending champion UConn. The Huskies 36-3. Purdue 34-4. The Huskies are 6.5-point favorite. The over/under 145.5. Connecticut minus 300 on the money line. The Boilermakers plus 240. The first half money line, Purdue plus 170. Connecticut minus 220. Purdue plus 165 in the race to 50 points. The overtime prop bet pays plus 1,000 if the teams do go to extra time. The Wooden Award will be presented tomorrow. Purdue Zach Edey minus 4,000, the betting favorite. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Anderson. And right now, you could buy one window or door and get one 40% off. Just text FRONT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, buy one window or door and get one 40% off. And right now, save an extra $200 off your entire purchase. Text FRONT to 200-300 right now. Text FRONT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text the word FRONT to 200-300. Text FRONT to 200-300.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Our steady diet consists of food and football, and occasionally some baseball and hoops.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry.
Grizz, you can't see because, well,
I can see the light coming in behind you a little bit.
yeah, I mean, it just all of a sudden the light, it just briefly it came out. When is this thing supposed to happen? Isn't it supposed to be like pretty soon?
I'd have to look.
I think it's supposed to happen pretty soon here. Is when this is all going down. But it is a solar eclipse. It's happening during the show, so we're stuck.
So I'm gonna watch it on TV.
I watch it on TV. We're gonna have to watch it on TV. What can I tell you? All right. Today is the 50th anniversary of one of the great moments in all of sports history. Milo Hamilton calling it for the Braves radio network with the sing song, "That ball's going to be." I mean, it's one of the great calls of all time. And that's followed up by the Vin Scully call and Vin Scully's commentary. Now, remember, this is 1974. It's 50 years ago. And this is Vin Scully in the prime of his career as well. Take a listen.
He's sitting on 7-14. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7-15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. The fireworks are going. Henry Aaron is coming around third. His teammates are at home plate, and listen to this crowd.
1 ball and no strikes. Aaron waiting. The outfield deep and straight away. Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone. For baseball, what a marvelous moment for Atlanta and the state of Georgia. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol. And it is a great moment for all of us, and particularly for Henry Aaron.
What a moment. And what a thing to say. And Vince Scully always said it was unscripted. It was just something that washed over him. And, yeah, it's one of the great moments in all of sports. One of the most incredible moments and commentaries in all of sports. And I remember where I was. I was sitting in my living room, 1660 Lake Road, Webster, New York, on the shores of Lake Ontario. I was sitting in there. It's Monday Night Baseball. That's my recollection. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure it was Monday Night Baseball. There was controversy that Bowie Kuhn was not at the game. Bowie Kuhn, the Braves had opened in Cincinnati. Hank Aaron had hit 7-14 to tie and then was sitting out the next two games in Cincinnati because he wanted to break the record at home in a homestand against the Dodgers. Well, Bowie Kuhn, who was the commissioner of baseball, was compelling him to play in those games in Cincinnati. Wanted him to play in those games in Cincinnati. Got in a big argument with the ownership of the Braves at the time to make Hank Aaron play in those games in Cincinnati. He ended up playing 7 innings of the Sunday game. Does not hit 715, but he did play 7 innings of the Sunday game. But the commissioner was at odds with the Braves ownership and refused to come to Atlanta for that historic game in series, however long it was going to take him to get it done. I was sitting in the living room at my parents' house in the dark, watching Monday Night Baseball, because that's what you did on Monday night. I mean, it wasn't like now where there's game on every, you got a game on Saturday, and then you got a game on Monday night. And it was like the coolest thing ever. And then we got the Yankee game on Tuesday. Every Tuesday from WPIX in New York City, we would get the Yankee game. And that was all the baseball you got to see. So if a sporting event was on a Monday night, you watched it as a 13-year-old kid. And that's where I was, watching that. And I was so excited when that happened. It's going to be out of here. Great stuff. All right, we'll get a break. I've gotten a statement from the owner of the Havoc, which I'll read on my phone first and then decide whether or not I can share it with you over the air. Anybody old enough out there to remember where you were when Hank Aaron hit number 715? Let me know. Phone lines are open the entire second hour of the show. 256-576-4977 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. A major coaching shakeup in college basketball. John Calipari's leaving Kentucky for Arkansas. ESPN's Pete Thamel and Jeff Borzello report his Razorbacks contracts expected to be completed within the next 24 hours. Likely will have an overall base salary slightly less than the $8.5 million he's making per year at Kentucky, but incentive-laden with the ability to pass that number. Pressure has been building on Calipari in Lexington, with the Wildcats unable to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament since 2019. He takes over for Eric Musselman now at USC. Connecticut tonight seeks to become the first repeat men's basketball champ in 14 years when it takes on Purdue in the national title game. Masters champion John Rahm calling for Live Golf to move to the traditional 72-hole tournament format used on the PGA Tour as the two circuits continue to compete against each other.
Spring is in the air, making it a great time to make plans to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park sits on a cliff overlooking beautiful Guntersville Lake with vistas from the cliffside rooms as well as the Pinecrest Room, the Lodge's premier restaurant. And as the weather warms, enjoy the gorgeous pool that overlooks the lake as well. The park also features cabins, a beach, and a boat launch, so bring your boat to take the fun to the lake. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. Book your visit today.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Alumni Hall is the ultimate shopping destination for Auburn and Alabama fans. Get your baseball gear, graduation gifts, or cheer on your team with the newest apparel, hats, and accessories for the entire family. Shop the newest collection of top brands like Nike, Adidas, Champion, Columbia, Yeti, New Era, plus 2 for $38 shirts. Sign up for the Alumni Hall Pass rewards and earn $10 for every 150 points accumulated. Come see us at Alumni Hall near Belk in the Bridge Street Town Center. Alumni Hall, where the best fans shop.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday night, rain and a few thunderstorms remain in the forecast. Low temperatures going to be falling into the upper 50s for the overnight. Looking ahead into your Tuesday, we keep rain and scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. High temperatures looking to top out in the upper 60s for the afternoon. We could also see wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn. I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back, hour number 2 on Eclipse Day in the doghouse.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day.
You know, I watch the Weather Channel every day. They're already saying what it's going to look like in every city in America. So what's going to be significant? So I'm going to watch it on TV.
But ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah,
so I'm going to watch it on TV.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Only darkness every day.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
All right, so the sun is shining here in Winchester, Tennessee right now. All of a sudden, the sun came out, there's shadows, and the sun is shining. My understanding is that it's supposed to be in our area here, being the Tennessee Valley, around 12. It begins around 12:40 with the maximum eclipse at 2 o'clock. So Grizz is in the windowless control room.
I can't see anything.
So he can't see anything right now. So he doesn't know if it's sunny or cloudy out there. But there's a possibility that you're going to have a little bit of sunshine before you have the eclipse. And if I remember 2017 correctly, and other eclipses in my life, it's just kind of an eerie. It doesn't get like blackout.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be like when Undertaker appeared at WrestleMania and it completely blacked everything out. It was like a total eclipse of the Lincoln Financial Stadium. Yeah. It's not like that. It just kind of gets kind of eerie looking, like dusk.
Yeah, at dusk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not playing baseball.
AL.com says totality in the U.S. will begin at 1:27 Central Time.
That's not, well, I think that's 1:27 Eastern Time. Because it's 12:37 Central Time. According to this, it says in Memphis, Tennessee, the partial eclipse will begin 12:37 Central Time, maximum eclipse at 1:58, and will end at 3:14 Central. So, I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know, who knows?
We'll
know when we look outside and there's no shadows, I guess. At some particular point in time, we'll look out there and we'll have no shadows. I know who has seen an eclipse or two, and that would be Harry, who is also probably old enough. Oh, I know he's old enough to remember where he was and what he was doing when when Hank Aaron hit 7:15. He's up next. Harry, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call. Tom, I remember it well. I was in Benlach, Germany as a second lieutenant listening to AFM radio. You got to remember, it's Germany, so it's very, very early in the morning. We were crashing on a construction project, and at that time in Germany, we had a lot of race relations and a lot of drug problems. The country was going through what was happening when we were transitioning from a draft army to a volunteer army. Vietnam was winding down. Had a lot of issues, but that was an event with me as a lieutenant that rang very well. I had a 52-man construction platoon. The demographics of the platoon was had about 5 or 6 Hispanics, about 20 young black soldiers. The rest were white soldiers from all over the country, and we were stuck on the radio trying to listen to that radio broadcast. A lot of us were Atlanta Braves fans, and we knew that he was going to break that record that night, and we didn't want to miss it. But we were working around the clock to finish a construction project at a CAV base there on the Czech border in Germany. And after that happened, everybody had a little more slide in your stride.
Man, that is really cool. Was there any racial undertones to any of that? Because it's 1974, and we all know the stories of the letters that the racially charged letters and comments that Hank Aaron had gotten. We've seen some of those as well. Did you sense any of that over there?
Absolutely.
Where you guys were together?
Absolutely, Tom. We were having race riots there in Europe with guys that were coming out of Vietnam that they couldn't bring back to the States because they still had time on their service obligations. We had drug problems. We had race riots. It was really a rough time to be in Germany. If you contact anybody that was in the Army at that time, it was just a rough time for our nation and our Army. But after that, it really go ahead.
Was it that way amongst your guys, though? I mean, your guy. I know, I'm sure that it was out there, but I mean, within the Army itself and within a specific unit, because I always say that a locker room is the most colorblind place in the world. I wonder if it's that way. I wonder if it's that way in your platoon where you're with your guys. You guys are all relying on each other to make sure that you get home safely. Is there still that kind of racial overtones that are going on there?
Not in the combat engineers, Tom, but it was in some of the other units that were supply and ordnance and maintenance units. And in the combat engineer units, you depended on everybody, and it didn't make any difference what color you were. You just had to have the character to stand up when you had to, and that worked out well.
All right, good stuff. Appreciate you as always.
You take care, man.
See, now it starts to get cloudy, but I don't know if it's just clouds. I have to go outside put my sunglasses on. See if I got my really dark sunglasses and put them on. See what that looks like. All right, so I asked the owner of the Havoc, I don't understand why you're being bounced from your building for the playoffs every year. Seriously, you sell out every game. Why can't they schedule Goofy on Ice for after the season? And Keith Jeffries, the team owner, responded to me immediately, said, I get what you are saying, but I understand the building's perspective and really don't blame them for the decisions. I'd be happy, he put it in quotes, that's an overstatement. He goes, I'd be happy to explain it on air at some point if needed. So I asked him, if you win the first round, will you be back in the building for round 2 or the finals? Or are you good for gone? He said we'd be back for the finals. So even the second round, they will not be back for. So that is
that's rough. That's
tough.
I mean, that's their home. You know what I mean? And it just feels like that first round. I mean, they're obviously not favorite. You know, they have to play that first game at home, and that's not a home field advantage. I feel like in a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, they've renovated it. It's really nice. I've been there as a kid. Been there, a little bit older too. But I just think that you would want that home feel.
Oh, you definitely would want that. I mean, you definitely want that. I mean, I don't know. How many do they put in the Iceplex? Anybody know? Can they fit 2,000 people in the Iceplex? And there's no place else they could really go that would be convenient. I just hate it for him. You know, that's the thing. I just hate it for him. All right. Other topics to throw on it. By the way, the John Calipari thing, we opened the show with that. Those of you that missed it. It was one of those things that was kind of like a shock to the system. It's like, what? John Calipari's finalizing a contract to become the next head coach of Arkansas? Yeah, you see that. Yeah. You see that name, and you think, whoa, wait a minute. That's John Calipari. He's going to Arkansas? And then you realize, who is John Calipari anymore? Really, who is John Calipari anymore? He won a national championship in 2012. They talk about Kentucky all the time like Kentucky's like Alabama football. And football is the number one thing there, and obviously it is. But if a coach at Alabama had won a national championship in 2012 and 12 years later had not even, been to the championship game or won a championship, you probably wouldn't still be there. I don't think Nick Saban would have gotten to stay for 12 years of not winning, and he won 6 at Alabama. So maybe he would have got to stay. Calipari won once. And in the last 5 years, he's 5th in the SEC, just in the league. Rick Barnes, Nate Oates, Bruce Pearl, Eric Musselman, who just left to go to USC, all have a higher winning percentage than John Calipari. I'm talking about regular season, when we think of Calipari winning all these games. We know that he's 1-4 in his last 5 tournament games. So immediately when that job opened up at Kentucky, you know whose name started getting bandied about. It's just going to be the way it is. And it's always going to happen. It seems like every time one of them big-time jobs is going to come up. So they go and they talk to Paul Feinbaum, and boom.
The one you have to keep your eye on, we just saw SEC to SEC, keep your eye on Nate Oates. He just took Alabama, Alabama to the Final Four for the first time in history. The only issue, he just got a new contract from Greg Byrne, the athletic director, and Greg Byrne put a $20 million buyout. Now, you say that is enormous. How could you possibly pay 20? Think about it, Greeny. I realize I'm not Jim Cramer here this morning on Wall Street today, but Kentucky just saved $33 million by not firing Cal, so they have a surplus of plus 13 if you're doing the math here before the Dow opens. I think they could say, why not go after the best coach in the SEC right now, who is Nate Oates.
Paul, are you going to tell me that Alabama's going to lose Nick Saban and Nate Oates in the same month or relatively close to that period of time? Could that happen?
Well, it's possible. Nate Oates loves Alabama, but I think Alabama's run was phenomenal, Greeny. But listen, Alabama is not Kentucky. Kentucky is the gold standard. Alabama football and Kentucky basketball are essentially the same thing. So Nate Oates does not need a refresher course in the event he takes the job.
In the event he takes the job, it's his to take.
It's just his. Go ahead.
It's his to take, right? It says as if they and look, make no bones about it. If Nate Oates showed interest in that job, Kentucky would jump on him, I think. I think they would absolutely jump on him if he showed interest in that job. So the question is, would Nate Oates be interested in that job? Do you leave, and would Alabama fan have a problem with Nate Oates leaving for the Kentucky job? Honestly, if it were to happen, you hate for it to happen. You want to just do everything in your power. It's one of the best timed extensions in the history of extensions, right? That Alabama gave Nate Oates an extension right before he took the team to the Final Four. And a Kentucky job opened up. But if the Kentucky job, or are you better off at Alabama? You just went to the Final Four. Are you better off at Alabama? Where Alabama fan is just absolutely loves you because you went to the Final Four. We don't have to, Kentucky's won 8 national championships. They want to win another one. The pressure is different. Alabama fan is sitting there thinking, you know what? Just make sure that you have a day after the Final Four, just in case our basketball team gets to the Final Four, because we really don't want to not watch the Final Four because it's, we got to be concerned with A-Day. So that concept is out there. Would you really blame the guy? And then the other name that is in the mix as well is got to be Bruce Pearl. Now, Bruce Pearl has been very, very vocal on the situation in the Middle East. As a Jew, he is one that is obviously very concerned about what's going on with Israel, Hamas, and so on. And he has been given, the carte blanche, if you will, to speak publicly about these social issues. He just tweeted an hour ago, "My fellow Americans, take them at their word. This is not what any of us want from our neighbors. This is not what Israel wants from its neighbors, would rather live in peace. Listen closely and take them at their word." He's speaking about this rally that was going on in Dearborn, Michigan. Protesters at an International Al-Quds Day, whatever that is, and they're chanting "Death to America." And one of the speakers quotes Malcolm X, America is one of the rottenest countries on earth. One of the rottenest countries on earth. And the speaker is saying that Israel is ISIS, Israel is the Nazis, Israel is a cancer. And now the rest of the world knows what Israel really is. Because why? Because Israel defended itself from being attacked? And so the chance of death to America, death to Israel, ringing out in American streets. Now, these people that are having this rally, Grizz, if they were anywhere else in the world or many other places in the world, they would not be able to say death to that particular country. You couldn't protest like that. It's because they're on American soil. Right. In America, it allows you to stand up there and say death to America on American soil. In Michigan, in Dearborn, Michigan. That's how asinine it is. Let them go to one of the Middle East countries and say death to Iraq or death to Iraq. They wouldn't get the word out. They would be like death to Iraq. But you wonder whether or not Bruce Pearl, because there were reports on the interwebs, Bruce Pearl's in the process of finalizing a contract to take over at Kentucky. Nate Oates is in the process. Nate Oates never signed his contract, and he's in the process of signing a contract to go to Kentucky. Billy Donovan is interested in the Kentucky job. All of this stuff has been floating around. But you wonder whether or not Bruce Pearl, I don't know that he's interested in going anywhere, but you wonder whether or not, would be a little bit hands off because of these kind of comments. Not saying that he should be. You just wonder. Keith, the Michigan fan, is up. Keith, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing all right, big dog. I remember exactly where I was. I had just went to my mother's house because I knew the game was on and changed the channel. And when I saw the guy run on the field after he hit the home run, it's like, I hope he don't kill him.
I was too young. I must be a little younger than you because I was too young or too naive at age 13. I remember when it was two fans, I thought, that came out, or maybe I'm thinking of the Chris Chambliss home run when the two fans came out on the, that one guy ran at him. Yeah.
Second base.
Yeah. And first of all, the first thought was, how in the hell can you imagine these days, could you ever even get on the field to do that? And then I thought, but I never thought that he was in danger. You know what I mean? And as it turns out, he wasn't. The guy wanted to pat him on the back.
As a black man, that's what we was fearful for.
Yeah,
because remember, Detroit, you could still smell the smoke from the riot, which had happened in '67.
Yeah,
and on your way downtown from where I lived at, maybe I used to walk to Tiger Stadium, so that tells you how close I was to downtown Detroit. And on Grand River and a couple other streets, all the businesses was just rubble.
Yeah.
Because they, basically burned it down. And that was because of racial. Two guys just came home from Vietnam, and they said they wasn't going to take the abuse from the police. And it just got ugly. But hey,
but yeah, what Vin Scully says is poignant there. What Vin Scully says about, a great night for Atlanta, a great night for America, because the reality is that there was a stadium full of folks, vast majority white, cheering a black man for, beating the record of an iconic baseball legend, who's, by the way, some people think was half black. So I think that was more of a reflection of the majority of Americans, how the majority of Americans feel. The problem is that, the ones that cause the racial strife, they're the ones that get all the attention and all the news, and it only takes a small band of idiots to go and burn down a city or to start, race, wars and things like that. But I think that by and large, most people don't feel that way.
No, most people don't. I mean, everybody would love to live in a place to where, you go to work, you do what you're supposed to do, and get your kids a good education, and prosper. But for some reason, I saw one show or a documentary where this black lady was helping a white couple with their land and their taxes. And she realized that they had the same problem as the black people did, which is if you're not rich, you everybody else. And,
it was when my dad tried to join a country club. I won't mention the name of the country club because it's a very famous club. But when my dad tried to join a country club in upstate New York and was told that he would not be ratified to join that, he couldn't join that club because he was Italian. He said, "What are you talking about? His best friend was Johnny Antonelli, right? A famous baseball pitcher from the 50s, bonus baby from the New York Giants in the 50s, who was from Rochester, New York." And he said, "Johnny Antonelli is a member there." And they said, "We made an exception for him because he's a baseball star. But we're not, don't even bother because you're going to be embarrassed, when they vote against you because you're Italian."
I remember watching the news when Governor George Wallace was on TV saying segregation today and tomorrow. And I told my mother, man, I'm never going down there. I've been down here 40 years.
Well, remember, he changed his tune at the end. You know what I mean? He totally changed his tune at the end.
When I told my mother that I was coming down here, she said, "Boy, with that mouth on you, them white folks gonna kill you." I said, "I just got the military," and I said, "I'm a veteran. I can go anywhere in this country I want to go." And left it at that. But never say never.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
All right, shit. Let me get Natty Danny in here before the break. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Very well. I'll get to Keith sidebar in a minute. But they talk about the Arabics. Yes, that's the largest concentration of Arabics in the nation.
In Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah.
Yes, it's Dearborn Heights. It's called Dearborn Heights.
Yeah.
So I know it well. Now let's get back to Keith. See, I respect Keith for his service, all right, and I appreciate it. He's a good guy. He's been here 40 years. Probably he's got a great family and everything. But Keith, if you're listening, part of the problem we have here, Keith, is that these cities are controlled by Democratic mayors, okay, and they don't do nothing for the people that live there. And matter of fact, for the last 50 years, Tom, I'm willing to say and bet on it that the government in Washington, D.C. has promised all these African-American communities all kinds of stuff, and they never deliver. They come around only when it's voting time, Tom. Stevie Wonder wrote a song about that, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I've often wondered why, and regardless of what the race is, I often wondered why people whose circumstance never changes, why they continue to vote the same way over and over and over and over and over again, and it never changes. At what point in time do you say, you know what? These people are not helping me. What the hell am I? What are they doing for me? Maybe I ought to try something different. And
it's sad because these African Americans that live in these inner cities and other races, but majority of them, I'm assuming they're black. I don't know, but I do know this: that they've been promised in the world and got nothing out of it. And Tom, I just don't understand. It's not fair. And now that you've got all the illegal aliens coming in here, they're taking a big piece of that pie that was allotted for the inner city people. And that's not right, man. We got to take care of the Americans that live in this country, no matter what game color they are, okay? And you can quit pointing fingers, government, and we got to stop quit pointing fingers and just get the job done. Take care of these people, Tom, that need to be taken care of. They're Americans. They're from our country. These people, and especially veterans, for crying out loud. And in my closing, I'm excited about tonight. I got what I wanted. The two big boys going at each other. It's going to be epic, okay? I cover my bases. I got Purdue in my bracket challenge, and I got Connecticut in my trifecta.
Yeah. You are hedged right now. You are hedged, and I think you hit the first two elements of it as well, from what I saw.
I did. I hit all three. The reason why I for a while there, Tom, both of those games, I'm going, Ginger, I don't think I'm going to cover these spreads. Sure enough, it's almost like the opposing teams, they fought really hard, and I think they got to the point where it's toward the end of the game, and they had nothing left in the tank, and then the big guys were taking over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the games were both much closer than the final score. I thought Alabama showed, they played very hard throughout the game and led in portions of the game and were right there with UConn, and then just UConn pulled away late, which happens when you're trying to catch up and the foul shots and everything else.
One more quick thing, Tom. When they interviewed Edie, that little girl, she could barely get to his belly button, for crying out loud. Yeah. It was hilarious, and it was great. She asked him a question, Edie. What did you say to the player from North Carolina State? And you could tell there was a bond between the two. I mean, they chuckled, they laughed a little bit. And that's what sportsmanship's all about. They didn't go at each other like they wanted to knock each other's head off. They actually played the game the way it's supposed to be played and be in good sports after the game was finished. And, Edie, good for you. You don't have to tell that announcer or that interviewer nothing, because it's between guys, a mano a mano. You know what I'm saying, Machismo?
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's a good job by you, Natty Danny. Natty Danny is alive. Smokey Mike is alive. Tomboy Dot is alive in the trifecta, plus many of you who sent yours in via the interwebs to the text window are alive as well, but we'll have it settled here coming up. Those three there they had South Carolina winning the women's side, and they had Purdue and UConn covering the spread, and some of them have UConn, some of them have Purdue. So we're gonna end up having to have a drawing. We're gonna have multiple winners. I think I might give away if it only ends up being two winners. I might give away a couple, but we may not be able to do that. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back. More of your phone calls on a wide open day. It is starting to get a little weird outside. All right, that's all I'm saying. At 1:29 Central Time, the sun is out in my neck of the woods, but it's starting to get a little weird outside. So I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to see what's going on. People are walking their dogs right now. And I don't know, if you walk your dog and the dog doesn't have the sunglasses on and the dog happens to look up at the sun, could the dog get hurt? We'll be back. Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Unlike other credit cards that decline sports betting transactions or treat them as a cash advance, the G-Bank Visa Signature Card can load directly to your favorite sportsbook apps. G.bank/VSiN.
NCAA hoops tonight, the men's final. Glendale, Arizona, Purdue battles defending champion UConn. The Huskies 36-3, Purdue 34-4. The Huskies are 6.5-point favorite. The over/under 145.5. Connecticut minus 300 on the money line. The Boilermakers plus 240. The first half money line, Purdue plus 170, Connecticut minus 220, Purdue plus 165 in the race to 50 points. The overtime prop bet pays plus 1,000 if the teams do go to extra time. The Wooden Award will be presented tomorrow. Purdue Zach Edey minus 4,000, the betting favorite. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Make your taste buds come alive with a visit to Huntsville's newest taste sensation, Salt Factory Pub at Mid-City, offering a creative menu featuring a variety of classic comfort foods with international influences. Salt Factory Pub is the perfect destination for everyone. Salt Factory Pub also has an unbeatable beer list of more than 50 different draft and bottled brews. Experience Salt Factory Pub at Mid-City with this week's Zone Deal. Get a $50 certificate for just $25, beginning Friday morning at 977ESPN.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday night, rain and a few thunderstorms remain in the forecast. Low temperatures going to be falling into the upper 50s for the overnight. Looking ahead into your Tuesday, we keep rain and scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. High temperatures looking to top out in the upper 60s for the afternoon. We could also see wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The best in local sports talk from the 256. We are local.
When you're number one, you don't have to worry.
We are award-winning. Thank you for listening. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll be set for life.
Welcome back. Tom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Woody Anderson Ford, the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. They can take care of your vehicle no matter what the make or model is at Woody Anderson Ford. They use the genuine Ford and Motorcraft auto parts as well on all of their Fords. And don't forget about the certified gold pre-owned vehicles as well at Woody Anderson Ford, and also all of the new inventory that they've got down there as well. It's Woody Anderson Ford doing a tremendous job. The only place I go to in the Tennessee Valley, and it's been that way since 2004. Okay, so I went outside here at the Big Dog Production Studios. There's brilliant sunshine out there right now. And those of you that are watching on WZZN TV see that I have my Oakleys on because I think I've burned my corneas. Do not look at the sun. I think something is going on. I'm not sure because it's a little bit weird looking out there, a little gloomy looking out there right now. It's not we're not full anything. But I looked up at the sun and I didn't realize how much you shouldn't look at the sun.
Yes.
So then I got my darkest pair of Oakleys that I use for fishing. The finest.
Is it polarized?
Polarized,
Yeah.
finest polarized Oakley fishing glasses on the market, so that you can see into the water especially during the spawn when you want to see the bottom and see where those fish are spawning. So I looked, shameless plug for the Oakleys. So I put the Oakleys on, and then I looked up there, and same deal. You do not do that. Don't do that. Don't put sunglasses. If you don't have the special welding helmet glasses, Don't do anything because it's not good, Grizz. To
Unrelated
look up
to
there
the sun and talking about this though, because you're talking about that front sonar stuff that you got and everybody hates it in fishing.
Yeah,
front sonar glasses.
Forward facing. Yeah.
Forward facing sonar glasses. Do they have that yet?
Well,
virtual
basically,
reality where they can look into the water and they can scan through it.
That's kind of what they are. That's kind of what the forward facing sonar is. By the way, several of you asked how things went with the tournament. I don't know what place we finished because this tournament, as big as it is, it's run by some guys that are technically challenged. I know that we didn't get a check. They only paid the top 20 spots. There was 194 boats in this tournament. And they only paid the top 20 spots. And I know we finished just outside the money, but I got to tell you, Grizz, third cast, my son catches a 3 3/4 ounce largemouth, right? I mean, a 3 3/4 pound largemouth.
Yeah. I saw the one you had on.
Really good tournament fish. Yeah, he caught a really good tournament fish on his third cast on a jerkbait right up against the rocks. He helped make a great decision. We were sitting there ready for takeoff. We were boat 99. Remember I told you we were boat 69?
Yeah.
Well, when I pre-registered on Friday afternoon, when I went in there, the guy in front of me, who is an EQ professional angler, the guy that was in front of me, he was 98. And so I said to the guy from the Bass Club, I said, ooh, I want to be 99. He says, you're already 69. I said, no, come on, back me up because I think the late bite's going to be better than the early bite because it needs to warm up. And so he says, you want 99? We'll give you 99. We'll give the next person in line 69. I said, that's fine. Nobody ever wants to be later, right?
Yeah.
I said, give me a later time because I thought maybe after things warmed up a little bit, it would give us about 18 minutes more of fishing time.
Oh, yeah,
so
definitely.
I figured it when things, maybe the late bite would be there. Anyway, so we were boat 99 and we're sitting there and it's 34 degrees. And we're waiting for takeoff, and the boats are going off one at a time. They call your number, and you go, and you got to go buy the tournament boat, and you got to have your live wells open. You got to show that your live wells work. You got to show that your ripcord works, to kill your engine and all that. Make sure you got your jackets on, life jackets on. So anyway, we pull up to the boat, and as we were sitting there, I said to my son, I think we're going to go in the river someplace close to just get fishing because we're boat 99 already, and maybe that's what we need to do is we need to get in the river and just start fishing. And he said, you know what? Let's just make the run. I said, are you sure? He says, yeah, let's just go ahead and make the run all the way to the far end of the lake. I mean, the very end of the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long, it's a 20-minute ride anyway.
Gas?
20. Yeah, I was loaded with gas. So, thank you. Which was surprising to me because I still ran 66 miles an hour with 40 gallons of gas. I'm like, how do I go 66? So 66 miles an hour at 34 degrees. What is the wind chill? I don't know.
God, worse.
So I would think pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, but we had our motorcycle helmets. So we both put the motorcycle helmets on, and everybody looked at us like, "Oh God, where are they going?" So I put the motorcycle helmets on and dropped the hammer. Yeah. 66 miles an hour all the way down the lake. Sure enough, when we got to about 2 miles from the end of the lake, there was no boats anymore. We had like the boats were pulling into different cuts and everything else. So where I went, we had there was only one other boat in there in this whole big area. It's called Lost Creek. So I pull through a culvert. You got to go through a culvert that's just wide enough to fit my boat in. Nice. I mean, literally inches on both sides. We go underneath the culvert, make a right, and there's this rock wall, riprap wall. And my son throws a jerkbait in there. Third cast with his jerkbait, he's got a 3 3/4 pound largemouth. Nice tournament fish. Put that one in a live well. I'm throwing a jig. I get one the same exact size. Both fish were exactly 3.69 pounds.
Oof. Nice.
Exact same size. We have over 7 pounds on our first 2 fish. By 8:30, and we didn't get to the spot till 8. By 8:30, we have 11 pounds on 4 fish. I'm telling you, I know I'm getting a check at 13 pounds. 13, 14 pounds, we're getting a check. And so just to finish out the limit would be get us to probably 13 and then start culling. And we're already talking about a culling strategy. Catch a fish, short. Catch a fish, short. Catch a smallmouth, 15-inch smallmouth, short, because it got to be 18 inches if it's smallmouth. Catch another smallmouth, 16-inch smallmouth, short. Could not get a keeper fish the rest of the day. Could not. We had 11 pounds and 3/4. We had 11 and 3/4 pound, or 10 and 3/4 pounds, just under 11 pounds. We had just under 11 pounds at 8:30. We weighed in just under 11 pounds.
Wow.
That was it the whole rest of the day. So I know we finished outside the money. I know I finished in front of a lot of really good fishermen. But my guess is that we were about 25, 26, somewhere in there. But they haven't posted all of the standings yet at their Facebook page. It's why aren't you you got enough technology here? You should be telling. You should have
getting their Google Sheets set up and
Well, they're putting it in. They're putting it in a computer. Why can't they could? Here's what you do. I mean, this is so simple, and I don't mean to rip on these guys because they're great guys at Tim Ford's Bass Club, right? But here's the thing: you've got a guy putting it in a computer, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it to set up a monitor? Everybody and their brother now has got a 40-inch flat screen, right?
Definitely.
You set up a monitor, you tie it to the computer, and then you can see the standings.
Yeah.
Right then and there, you know what the standings are.
Do that at high school wrestling tournaments where literally they have it up on PowerPoint and it's like right there and it tells you what
we have it at the
is.
high school and the college tournaments in an event like this where they're, the take was at least 30 grand. I mean, all right, it's gotten really weird out there now. I'm looking out the window.
Is it dark?
It's gotten really weird. It's not dark, but it's that eclipse gloomy looking thing. Yeah. It looks really weird. All right, let's go to lines. Grumpy is up. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Yeah, those were going to be my questions. I'm glad you made the run, man. I was going to text you and tell you to make the run, but I don't like texting during the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But what percentage of the fish weighed were smallmouth, roughly?
I'd say about 25-30%, because remember, smallmouth is an 18-inch limit, and largemouth is a 15-inch limit. So smallmouth has to be, there were literally some of those smallmouth are 3.5, good 3-pound smallmouth. You can't weigh them in because they're 17.5 inches. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, when I think Tim's Ford, I think smallmouth,
It's more largemouth. Right now, the largemouth population is more attainable anyway than the smallmouth. And the last couple of years, it's been less and less smallmouth. It's very kind of surprising in a way. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, see, the thing is, you can catch a 4-pound smallmouth, but you can also catch a 7-pound largemouth. So during the spawn, I think guys are more targeting the largemouth. We were targeting largemouth.
Sure, but I still think Tim's Ford, I think smallmouth. So what was the largest fish in the tournament?
I don't know, because I wasn't going to wait for the whole weigh-in. It was 200 boats, so I'm not going to wait for the entire weigh-in. When we weighed in, big fish was only in the 4s. And because my son they don't let you trailer weigh, so I was in the boat and I let him take the bag up. So he took the bag up. They weighed his first, and it ended up being 3 3/4. And then he said, well, if mine's 3 3/4, my dad's has got to be over 4, because my fish just looked bigger. And we thought for sure it was bigger. They put it on a scale that weighed exactly the same, and you never know because of muscle content and how much roe is in a particular fish. So it was mind-boggling. They weighed exactly the same amount, but the reason they weighed it, they looked at it and they said that looks like it's over 4, and they weighed it because the big fish was in the 4s. So at that time, now some joker probably came in with a 6-pounder, I would think, but we'll see.
Nothing makes me want to reach for the dial more than Dan talking politics on the sports show. I'm not calling him Natty Danny anymore. He is long-winded Danny, or he used to be the sweet potatoes on the Thanksgiving Day plate of the Thom Abraham show, but now he calls in with stuff that's just not good takes, man.
Well, it's my fault because I mentioned the Bruce Pearl story.
He's now become, instead of sweet potatoes, he's the English. He's Aunt Martha's English peas. He's the part of the plate you push to the side, and you got to eat them because Aunt Martha's at the table. But you really don't want those English peas,
like the cheesy leeks.
Calling it every day like that with the level of calls he's doing, he's the English peas, man.
I take responsibility because I brought up the Bruce Pearl comments, which I respect Bruce Pearl immensely for making those comments for those guys that were doing it. And the good thing that Dan was bringing to the table was his knowledge of Dearborn, Michigan having the most Middle Eastern people per capita of any place in the country. And I've heard that before. So that's why that was context there. So that's fine. But then in the other stuff.
You know what? You've heard that before because all of us have heard that before. He didn't bring that to the table. And we all know that.
Right.
We all know that. Okay, man. Thanks.
Appreciate it. It's getting darker out. It's weird, man. All right, just to stay political for a moment. It's not really political because it has to do with sports. So Dawn Staley gets her 3rd national championship, and she's a great basketball coach. There's no doubt about it. She is a great coach. She's not Gino Auriemma, and she's not Pat Summitt. She's a great basketball coach. But I have a huge problem with her supporting something that flies right in the face of the sport she coaches, which is women's basketball. She said this, and this is like 24 hours ago. She just said this, right? Quote, people should be free to make choices about who they want to be, even if those choices are in a constant state of flux. It's not up to us to judge, and it certainly isn't up to the government to judge. In fact, the government is bound by the 14th Amendment to provide equal protection to all of its citizens. That includes men, women, and, well, whatever. Who's the whatever? I guess the whatever are the people that don't know what they are, right? Everybody else. So, okay, fine. All right, so if she stops there, people should be free to make choices about what they want to be. Fine. You want to be a cat, be a cat. You think you're a dog, you think you're a man, or you were born a woman, or you think you're a dog? Whatever. Do whatever you want to be. Whatever you think you are, that's fine. But you're not playing. If you were born a dude and now you're a chick, I don't want you playing sports with my granddaughters. So Staley also said this. She said, quote, if you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports or vice versa, you should be able to play. That's my opinion. So here she is coaching women's sports, and she's advocating for natural-born men to take places from her women athletes, natural-born women athletes, if they consider themselves a woman? I mean, that's what she says. She said, if you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports, you should be able to play. People should be free to make choices about who they want to be. Well, that choice was made already. I mean, God made that choice as to what we are. I mean, first of all, he picked us at the beginning. He decided whether we were a dude or whether we're a chick. But okay, all right, let's say you want to fly in the face of God and you want to say that you're not what God made you. You want to be a cat. Okay, fine. But to say that if you consider yourself a woman, that you should be able to be a woman. So I want to say this right now, Grizz. I think that I am the best female sports talk broadcaster in America. What do you think? I think I should be able to. I think that if anybody is looking for a female voice on their radio station,
I think Clark of radio.
I think I am the best female sports talk radio announcer. I now choose to be a chick, and I'm a chick talking sports on the radio, and I'm better than any other woman talking sports on the radio.
Better wear a blouse tomorrow.
Let me get a break. All right, we'll come back. Final segment. See if we can't slip Shane and Decatur in as well. It is weird outside. I'm going to go out and look again. Either the clouds have moved in or the moon has moved in on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Spring is in the air, making it a great time to make plans to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park sits on a cliff overlooking beautiful Guntersville Lake with vistas from the cliffside rooms as well as the Pinecrest Room, the Lodge's premier restaurant. And as the weather warms, enjoy the gorgeous pool that overlooks the lake as well. The park also features cabins, a beach, and a boat launch, so bring your boat to take the fun to the lake. The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. Book your visit today.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back and better than ever. Tuesday night marks the start of the 2024 regular season as the Trash Pandas take on the Birmingham Barons. Game time is 6:35, and make sure to stay after for the first fireworks show of the season. Get your tickets while they are still available at tptix.com. That's tptix.com. Let's rock it.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your #1 choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
For all your equipment needs, you can get it done at Valley Equipment Rental. They bring you today's eclipse. With 2 locations, North Parkway and South Parkway. We've played sun and moon music all throughout the show today. Valley Equipment Rental. They do not have the glasses that you need to look at the eclipse, but the eclipse is in its basically in full throat right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's pretty much full throat. Now, here's the weird thing that happened. This was incredible. I walked outside because it's gotten very gloomy out. It looks like late dusk right now on a cloudy day. So it's not that magic hour, right before the sun sets, that hour before the sun sets. So anyway, I went outside and I looked up, and there was a big cloud that just went across the sun to the point where, like you would see the sun shining through a cloud, like a thinnish cloud, and you could see it. Well, when I looked up, I could see the fact that there was just a sliver of the sun showing, just a little sliver of sun showing. And it was like, oh, this is such a cool picture. And I didn't have my phone on me. So I ran inside. I got my phone. I was going to give Grizz the picture. He would put it up on WZZN TV, and you can see what it looks like right now. By the time I got back outside with my phone, I looked up, and a big black cloud now has moved in front of the sun, and the sun is totally gone. So it looks like how it looked all morning. It just looks dark out. It looked like what the moon, Grizz, you ever see the moon during the day? Like sometimes you can see the moon during the day?
Definitely, yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like a sliver of the moon during the day. But it's not something that I would make, I would have 15,000 TV shows about and go driving all over the countryside to see,
It's like going to Disney World and it raining like the majority of the week. It's just like you spent all that money to go somewhere and then you do that.
Well, you can watch it later.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Shane is in Decatur. He wraps us up. Shane, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Yourself?
Fantastic.
All right. So, as you guys already know, I'm a big time Gamecock supporter.
Yeah.
Whether that be baseball, men's baseball, women's softball, women's basketball, men's basketball, football, obviously, across the board. I have always been a Dawn Staley supporter, and I still think she's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
But if she were to go and ask that question that was asked to her team, and seriously, with all BS aside,
yeah,
how would you feel if you got a 6'7", 6'8", man transitioning to a woman playing against you guys, and then they knock you out of the tournament? If you got to think of it in a different perspective sometimes, because I know Dawn Staley. She's gay.
She's LGBTQ. Yeah. But it's one thing to be gay. It's another thing to advocate for natural-born men to play women's sports when you're a part of women's sports. What are you going to do ultimately with those women? What if some dude that's the size of Zach Edey decides that he wants to be a girl and decides that he's going to go play basketball? You know what I mean? And it would completely dominate, would wreck the game. Absolutely wreck the game. If either of those two big guys decide that they're chicks tomorrow and they want to go play women's basketball, and you don't have no 7'4" women or 7'2" women or 7 foot anything women, they would wreck the game. But it's okay, because anybody in this country, you should be able to be whatever you want to be. And if you identify as a woman, you should be able to play women's sports. That ain't right.
Well, last thing I'm going to say is, what was this country founded on? This country is largely founded upon, not largely, it is founded upon religion. And if you go and start digging into that stuff, and then you want to go ahead and start bringing out these things that are happening today, you know what? No good.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Good job by Shane in Decatur. All right, coming up next, Paul Feinbaum Show. I'm sure he's got plenty to say about Nate Oates and Bruce Pearl next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.